Live.
We
Welcome.
are.
I'm Nate May.
This is Susie Ling, and this is our second installation of a live stream masterclass.
Yeah, and we are Synthase, which is an online school for music creators, where Susie and I are both composers, and we're going to be listening to the music that's been submitted by folks who are curious to get our feedback on that music. So, we have 5 pieces to get through today, and um, we have also, we have to tell you about something that we do that we are very passionate about, which is the Synthase Composers Academy. So, Susie, do you want to just give folks a sneak preview of the first couple slides?
All right, we do have a really fancy looking slide deck. I don't really know how
Yeah,
fancy it is, but
extremely
uh,
fancy.
it's extremely fancy. This is our really fancy slide deck, and we are very passionate about our Synthase Composers Academy. And if any of you are interested in the middle of the live stream, if you check the description underneath, then you will see a link right over here. So here's the link. You can go check it out.
Yeah, so you're welcome to explore that. And then after we listen to the music, um, we will discuss more about the academy.
Yeah. And as of now, if any of you are here, please drop something in the
Yes.
chat so we know you're here.
Yep. Say hi. Hi. Cool. Great. So, shall we get started?
All right. So first thing first, we have Seam Evans, and the piece we're about to look at is called Homecoming. It's a pretty big score, so I want to share the score right now, so you kind of have a sneak peek because I don't know how good I will be like flipping pages through this
Mm-hmm.
because it's really hard to see. But
Yeah.
yeah, but shall we?
Can you show us what's going on at the very beginning? Because I think that's important.
At the very beginning, all of it's for wind ensemble. At the very beginning, all the woodwinds and brass. Instead of playing those notes, they will be singing those notes. And I guess like that, which actually raised the first question right away. Whenever you're writing singing pitches, because like basically a score is a form of communication, so like it's communicating whatever you want to the performer, so like just so that it doesn't raise another question, you might want to say that are those same pitches transposed, um, or are
Ooh.
they not transposed, you know?
Yeah, good question. Because this is a transposed score. I
Yeah,
imagine they must be transposed.
usually it's transposed, but like sometimes like some you don't want your performer to like think about it, then rethink about it, then rethink
Mm,
about it. Just turns into a vicious circle of performers
yeah.
doubting themselves.
Yeah, that wow, that is confusing because if you play a transposing instrument, but you also sing in a choir, you're not used to transposing when you sing in the choir.
Yeah.
So, good thing to think about. And I wonder what's standard there. Um,
But shall we?
sure. Yeah, let's dig in.
All right. I'm gonna try my best to flip the page, but
Oh, okay. Or yeah, or just we can just listen.
It's a piano, right?
Yeah.
Nice doubling, unlike mallets and piano.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I actually have two comments and one thought.
Great.
May I go first?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so like first thing, I'm wondering because the entire piece is kind of has like this epic build to it. Like I'm wondering, maybe play around with it, the tempo of the middle section, especially after you kind of just like push it forward and forward and forward. I'm wondering maybe the middle section will sound more epic if it's faster, especially
Mhm.
on page 8, 7 or 8. Play around with your tempo a little bit. I have a hunch that if you like dial it up from like 44 to dotted chord to 44 to I would say like 63. You might see,
Mm.
maybe you will like it, maybe because like right now I feel like we're very sort of like stable on this like slow tempo. Then after a little, after like for me in my listening experience, after like 4 or 5 pages, I start to feel like it's kind of like weighing it down a little bit too much instead of giving it momentum. Um,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah, then like later on in the end, the same thing goes to the ending because like essentially when the rain stick's coming back, you have this. Can you hear the piano?
No.
Okay.
I hear. If I switch to this, no, try the piano again.
Okay. Uh, if it goes from
There we go.
okay, so like this like ending piano figure, it's beautiful, but then it's if you look at it, it's the same gesture being repeated and slowly building onto. I'm wondering, could it be shorter instead of like two repeats? Maybe go. That you can kind of. Then I'm wondering, do we need the last? Do we need the last bar?
Mm.
The F is already kind of like implied. Do we need? Do we need to really spell it out? You know, especially I remember the program note says, since we're talking about Asian culture anyway, Asian culture is very big built on, like I say, the first half of it, the second half is implied. F major is implied. Do you have to spell it out? Yeah. And my little comment is that it reminds me so much of like it's like after a while I cannot unhear that. Like this.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Yes. And
Yeah.
just after I heard it, I cannot unhear it. Yeah, it's just me.
Mm,
Okay, Nate, I'm done.
cool. Um, great. Yeah, that I really agree with the middle section feeling slow, and I feel like the ending as well. And I might know where that comes from because I have done the same thing where like the fast music takes so long to write and you spend hours and you've only done a few measures, and then you get to the slow music, and especially when you've got the sustained pitches like you have at the end, you spend like a quarter of the time and you've written like five times the number of measures, and so it just messes with your head when you're trying to kind of understand the proportionality of things if you're just writing from left to right and you're not doing like a lot of plotting out the timing in measures. So tempo could help with that for sure. um, Also, I'm thinking about like there are these beautiful big moments, and it's, by the way, it's just gorgeous lush piece, like really really strong. And you probably shouldn't change this piece too much. You can experiment with the tempi, and I think that's a great idea, but it's in a really good place, and so maybe these are things to be thinking of more for the next one. But something to think about also would be your note values. So you have the shortest note value I could see, because I was kind of looking at the score too, was a 16th note. And when you're working with a tempo that slow, having some faster note values, whether they're flourishes or arpeggios or something, can help inject some like simmering energy even in the quiet parts. Um, and in the loud parts, it can help really, with the sense of joy. Although I think your loud parts are really strong. Um, and what that might also help with is, because the loud parts are so dramatic and full, and they're so much like an arrival. I think they would be more fulfilling if they were coming from a place that was deeper in the opposite direction, whatever that may be. So you've got quiet, loud. You've got, maybe sad, happy. You have whatever axis you're working on to get to that dramatic peak. Try to go equally deep in the other direction beforehand, so that we feel
Mm,
like we've earned it. Would be
yeah,
something.
for sure.
Yeah.
And and last thing before we move on, like I was revisit the snare drum entrance. Like for me, 79. That specific the reason to remember that is because it really threw me off, like in terms of the sense of like where's the downbeat, just because it
Mm,
enters here. Yeah, maybe like it's something worth checking out later.
cool.
All right,
All
shall we
right.
move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Very nice,
Okay,
Sean. Thanks so much for sending that in.
the next piece is an audio only, so you get to see our very enjoying face and listening to the music.
Great.
Can you bring his backpack, please?
Ready?
Mm-hmm. And who is this composer?
Oh, sorry. Robert Ingren.
Great. Okay, cool.
The
And
piece is called Iris of the Sphinx.
cool. Do we know the instrumentation or no?
No idea.
Okay, we'll find out.
We'll find out. What's up with the Tim Tim? Is it actually a Tim Tim?
I think so, yeah. There's some record crackle in there. Whoa.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard anything quite like that.
I know.
I think the closest I've heard to it is like Barrios Sinfonia, which but it's pretty different than that, you know. Um, cool. Do you want to dive in or shall I?
If you have any burning thoughts, you can. I have like two, but you can go first.
Um, yeah, I love the chaos. Um, and the way that it builds toward that, and it feels like we're like whipping ourselves up into this frenzy, um, which is just like a really really unique sound. Um, in terms, you know, I don't want to impose too much on this because you have a very unique artistic voice. So you know, of course, this is true for everyone, but like I guess when there's something that this unique, my antennas are very much up for. Am I 100% sure that I understand your artistic goals? Because if not, you probably shouldn't take my advice, you know. But my thought is I would enjoy hearing it either more contrast between the sections or more direction within the sections. So we have that one long section that's building up, whipping into a frenzy. And then it keeps going and it doesn't feel like I would expect it to feel if we've been whipped into a frenzy. Um, but it sounds similar to the previous sections. The strings are playing pretty much the whole time, and it sounds like they're chamber strings, so they're going to be solo strings. So they're not actually going to be much of a sound mass, right? Unless they're amplified, they're actually going to be pretty buried in everything. So it's not like an orchestra where like if the strings aren't playing, you know, you feel it. Um, I would, you know, in order to create more variety in the sections, you could leave the strings out of certain parts. In order to create more direction, you could, you know, think about the orchestration and the textures in a way to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Nate that like it could use more direction or like more contrast. It then I also want to say that the most the most important thing of like giving people compositional advice is to do no harm. So if this
Yeah.
is not so but like so I don't know whether you're here or not. You might not like it. It might be a harmful advice. Do not listen to me if you don't like it. That is, I love the chaos. Like it is on the verge of maybe it made me question, is it actually written for a real instrument or
Mm.
do you want to like dial up the craziness
Mm-hmm.
of like if it's like for non-human performer anyway, you can amp up um sort of like the non-playability then just like
Yeah.
make it sound even more crazy. It could be very interesting, but if that's not your intention, do not listen to me. um uh, like the second thought is also related to that is like if you're writing for harp, um harp is one thing that you unfortunately do not have a chromatic scale.
Mm.
Harp is something that goes, there's like paddle for like every note. Like whenever you flip a paddle, the paddle will control, say if you have a C, then the paddle, it will be middle C, then like up it will be flat, down will be sharp. I the directions right. I think I'm
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I did not write hard for like years, then it's like if you go flat, if you like play a C, if you do flat, all the octave will be flat. If you do sharp, all the octaves will be sharp, which means if you want the harpist to do a chromatic scale, it will be basically C, pedal down, D, then pedal down, E, F, fine, or E, pedal down, F, pedal down,
Yeah.
G, pedal down, A, pedal down. You see my point. So like it will be quite a lag day workout for the harpist if it's for a real instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
Yeah, if this is for real instruments, there are going to be a lot of technical challenges. But yeah, I like the idea. If it's not, then just go
Embrace
wild.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. We should probably move on, but thank you for submitting that. That was Robert, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Very
Number
cool,
three, we
Robert.
have Aaron.
All
Then
right.
it might be part two of like the listening music of last week,
Oh, nice.
or maybe not.
Okay.
Be ready.
Oh, we get a studio fade. Oh,
Oops, sorry.
that's okay.
That was me.
No, okay, cool. I wonder what the intention of the fade was at the end. Um,
I think Aaron said that it's supposed to be battle music.
okay.
Where are the words? Well,
Yeah, I was just thinking because that's good. That's not something that can really be done live.
right
Oh,
here.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. So it's done in Logic. It's for a battle theme for a game.
if it's for battle theme, I think it's appropriate to have it in a loop because some people will
Mm-hmm.
do. It's a
That must be what it
especially if
is.
it's a video game. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. Cool. Yeah. Great. Go for it. If you have thoughts.
Like my song it's like for I like the snare drum ba. I'm wondering would it be possible to build in more direction to the drum line because like the drum line the snare is very strong but like after a while I start to feel like I am craving for something more processed. That is, I guess, like as human being, we love processed food and we love super processed food. Like after having like a very like very I would say honest snare sound after a while I'm just like I want a processed snare sound that's
Ooh.
like can it be like more tweaked to another direction having another some layered on top there's a point I think you have a timpani like layered it sounds like a timpani I'm not sure like could it be like a compound kind of like a drum sound like after a while it becomes some sort of like a almost like you're orchestrating the drum instead of the ba 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 you
Mm.
can have that go together with, I don't know, a tambourine, then go together with like adding a little bit of a bass drum, adding a little bit of like some kind of metal could be really cool.
Yeah, so like passing it around or layering it on top of the snare.
Layer on top of the snare, so it's like building, 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 building.
Mm-hmm.
Then like after a build, you should like decrease at some certain point so you can start looping.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could even see saving the snare for when you want to really. Although now I'm thinking about this being in a loop and you don't have the same effect of like of withholding something, right? Um, but it could be something to think about that because that rhythm is so constant, whether or not it's being played by the snare. It could be cool to hear it just on tambourine or just on something else, and then only the snare when we really want that really marchy kind of punch.
And also like the absence of something makes the reappearance of something ever more powerful.
Yes.
So like what if after the very punchy snare it disappears for like 8 bars and it come back?
Yeah, there were sections where we didn't have the bump 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 bump, and it was
Right.
but the music wasn't grooving so much. That was kind of more of a lyrical section. So it could be
Right.
interesting when if it's grooving, but you just have like a nervous pulsing. I'm all about the like the pulsating, so that's probably what I would if I wanted like to evoke a boss fight. I would probably try to amp up the anxiety of it, you know.
And like for boss fights, like think about what do you want your listener to remember. Like for me, I don't know any Dark Souls 3 players over here. Like when I was fighting Medea, like are we in copyright trouble if I talk about a video game title?
No. The internet would be doomed if that were the case.
Anyway, I would just like, because I died to that dragon so many times, like as soon as I enter the room, I hear the I was just like, oh, it's just like it's like that thing that like a little one bar that's like haunting me. Like what do you want this to haunt your player?
Yeah.
I guess it could be something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron. Number 4, Stephen Morris.
All right.
We have score.
Cool.
All right. So It's called. I'm opening that. Chipmunk Run.
Fun.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
the chipmunk is
Wow.
okay.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Very cool. Whew.
Yeah, like I love this 2 minute and a half.
Oh, that was just 2.5 minutes. Man. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So much going on in there. What a compelling little Sonic story.
I mean, like one thing I really like about it is that. Oh yeah, it's your turn. You go
Oh
first.
no, go for it.
It's that like after like all of this, you have something you remember.
Oh,
Uh, can you hear it?
no.
Yeah.
Lost
Okay.
it.
Can you hear it?
No, let me switch over to your tab. Okay. Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah.
I like how from the very beginning that like it's going so fast and your theme and your title make sense together that it just like afterwards you just remember this. I don't remember the last note, but like
Yeah.
you have the same thing like going back over and over. I like the pacing and I like um at some point like I like your playful use of off beats that just like that when you have those like punchy chords that happens on the off beats. I sometimes like a ba or a ba those kind of thing. It's like making it really fun to listen to and it's like it's almost like there was one place I really appreciate that bar somehow. If I can find it. So if I am not finding it, I'm just obnoxiously keep talking until I find that bar. Do I find that bar? Yes, over here. It's that after all of those non-stop 11 pages, there is a this melodic line and 1, 2, 3, 4. I appreciate that 4 bars because like usually I will be it's a really fast music. I tell my students over and over think of your momentum like a car. When if you want your car to get faster and faster, you don't slam on your brake, right? If you slam on a brake, your car would take longer to basically start up the speed again. But because it's just like so dense. At this point, I appreciate this part that it just like give me a room to. Ooh, I hope the chipmunk is okay. And it just like kept going from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Nate.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, let me switch this back. Yeah. Well, so first of all, I'm not going to pretend that I could pull something like this off, at this level. Of course, the music I write doesn't tend to be like this. It's, a different style. But even if I tried to write something in the style, this level of, vision and achieving it is like pretty impressive. Um, so so mostly what I'm going to say is just like what I liked about it. First of all, it's so chipmunky. It's just like the way that chipmunks just like dart around and they change their minds so often and they seem kind of nervous and they'll like jump to a new branch um and it's the inner world of the chipmunk too, right? It's not just their physical motions, but it's like you see a hawk or something and it's like, oh, danger, and then it flies past and then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna go get a peanut. It's like there's just changing and finding these lush moments and like their little hearts are beating so fast. They're just going through life at a faster rate. um and I could hear all that, and it's so I loved that about it. The way the meter was changing, and um, not just a different quarter note pulse, but also switching between threes and twos, so that we have those little hops and skips. Um, all the orchestrational stuff, the way that the melodies came through, and were so
Look,
playful, coming in and out of the
look at the
keys.
harp pedal instructions.
Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah.
How's it look?
No, it's just like look, if you're writing for a harp, this is something that shows that he thought about the harpist.
Oh, okay,
He does
great.
not want the harpist to like work out.
Nice. Yeah, that's requires some forethought. One thing I did notice, early on, because Susie was talking about all those upbeats, ja, 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 those are, maybe you know this and maybe you've calibrated it a little bit, because this is going to take really good players to play this. But even for really good players, if you have a long stretch of only upbeats, ja, 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 they will eventually start to feel like downbeats, and it's really hard to get back on.
That's true. That's so true.
So I would be really careful about that. And this is one of those things where it'll be really, really hard for the musicians as it is. If you give them a single downbeat every 4 bars, that immediately resets it and makes it so much easier for them. Yeah, we don't have time to get into it, but there's an instrument from East Africa called the akadinda, and on there it's like a I guess we're getting into it, but it's sort of like a marimba, but there are players on either side of it, and on one side, the player's just going bum 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 bum, except faster. It's more like bum 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 bum, and they have a really easy job. Except on the other side, the player has to go like all of the upbeats, and it's in like 3/16 basically, and you're playing the two that aren't the downbeat. And I had to play this instrument once, and I had the upbeats, and it was so difficult. So there's a whole performance practice around it in East Africa, but most orchestral players don't spend a lot of time, with that particular technique. So just be aware of it.
Oh yeah, I was just looking at that. It's mostly those four trombone players.
Okay.
Trombone 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And has like 2 pages of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. What do we have next? So thank you so much, Stephen, for that.
Next we have Sergio.
All right. Sergio from the 5-day challenge.
Sergio from the 5-day challenge.
Sergio made it into
Sergio here.
I don't know.
All right, so we have where's my share button? Here's the score. I need to grab the ready?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Okay. I just need to swap it back really fast. I can do it. Okay.
know it's going to be a good day when your biggest concern in the morning is collecting the crumbs.
Okay.
Cool. Nice job.
Yeah. I have a question. Did you hear the bass drums throughout, or like it's been played by something else?
Oh, I didn't hear much bass drum. Oh, I wonder if it. Were you playing a
I
MuseScore
ha
file?
I have a hunch the bass drum is actually not a bit. Is it a bass drum? It's
Mm.
maracas definitely did not sound like a maracas.
Oh, okay.
It's this bass drum one and bass drum two. I have a hunch it might be turned into something curious
Okay.
because like yeah.
I know you said that's a
Anyway,
thing in MuseScore. Yeah. Cool. You want to go for it? I don't remember whose turn it is. I've got thoughts.
you've got thoughts.
Yeah.
Is it burning?
Nope.
I like those section and I like how consistent this is keep coming back. And I'm just like wondering, could it then except like the ending, I start to it's like I like it, but also I'm just like it's like starting from the second half of it, I start to like really anticipating when will it come back?
Mm-hmm.
Will it be back? Then eventually I was like really anticipating like a final entrance of that. It never happened. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I like it. Also, I like that it never happened. I also don't like it never happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Then my another burning thought is really just like I mean I like the sound word of like whatever this is. I don't think it's actually maracas like in the MIDI playback. Like I like the mixture of all of those. It's almost have a little bit of like 8-bit
Mm.
early game music kind of vibe to it. I like that vibe.
Cool.
All right,
Yeah.
hand it to you.
Cool. So, oh, and just for context, so the title, um, Los elefantes del circo, circus elephants, and I think it was like se dieron un paseo de por Venezuela. Circus elephants going for a walk in Venezuela. So it's a very
Yeah, that makes sense.
evocative title. Yeah, and definitely gives me kind of imagery. I wish I knew more about Venezuelan music, but I have a feeling some of that was reflected in some of the rhythms and the string harmonies that we were hearing. Um, so I think, yeah, I was going to comment about making it sound more like elephants and more like a circus. Um, but I imagine the bass drums would have really helped it sound more like elephants, and we weren't hearing the bass drums. But yeah, something
I,
about,
I think
you go ahead.
I think instead we heard the high piano C. It's then it
Oh,
was
that
like
was the
very
bass drum?
persistent. I think that was the bass drum. That's my
Oh,
hunch.
okay. Wow. Yeah. Um, okay. So I guess it's good to export that MP3 with MuseScore. But yeah, so this I like the idea of the contrast between like the kind of whimsical chaos of a circus and the lumberingness of an elephant, and I think that there could be a lot you could do to kind of play with that. Sounds I associate with circus are like calliopes, right? So this kind of windy, organy sound, um, slide whistles, that sort of like clowny, ridiculous. Oh yeah, like whatever those little horns are, um, you know, and then also just you can have multiple layers at once, which you did do in places. But I think it could be interesting to have that going on, with the elephants out there going boom, 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 and then seeing how that can sort of live through the walk through Venezuela. I will say one technical thing that you did that I think was really smart, whether or not you did it on purpose. The 5/8 section, you gave entirely to the percussion, unless it was another thing where I was hearing percussion, but it was something else on the score. But when it's like a quick 5/8 like that, percussionists are going to be totally fine with it. Other instrumentalists, if there's even one who's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it's going to throw off the whole ensemble. So it's like, ooh, that's clever. Give the slightly harder time signature to the percussionist, and then switch back to 4/4 before you bring in the rest of the ensemble.
I have a interesting slot for the 5/8 section if you want to play with it. That is like it's entirely the percussion section. What if like you give like everybody else a kazoo? Then like you don't have to
Yes.
be in time. Then like they can just be chaotic, like layer on top something like then just be like whatever is happening in the circuit. Then the another one can jump in. It could turn into like
Yeah.
a whisper. Then it could be like in a box tag. So like they don't really have to follow the 5/8. Then it can be really fun building up that the 5/8 pushes somewhere, then interruption, go back.
Yes. That's a great idea. I think, isn't there a Ligeti piano concerto with kazoos? I'll have to look that up. I've definitely yeah.
You can even like supply those kazoo for your performer because you can buy bulks on.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by that company start with A, so I'm not gonna say its name. So
Okay. Yeah. Um Ligeti. Maybe it's not Ligeti. Anyways. Cool. So thank you, Sergio. Great to hear more of your work. And was that all 5?
that's all 5.
Great. Okay. So we now have to tell you we get to tell you a bit about what we do and what we've been building, and what we've launched just this year, a couple months ago, which is the Synthase Composers Academy. And we really, pretty much everyone watching this is going to be interested in this. So I hope you stick around a little bit. Yeah.
All right. And this is the link over here. Check it out. It's in the description.
Yeah, so that'll give you fill in all the information that we aren't covering.
Yeah, and a little bit about who we are. You actually know who we are already. No, but like who you are. Then that we suspect that you might be the someone who fell in love with video game, film, or classical music. Like some of like today's like
Yeah.
submission is about video game music, and start figuring out how to make those yourself. Some did. And or you're actively studying music and you love composing, or you're already a music pro and you've expanded into composition, or you used to compose but you fell off and you're starting to get back into it. And throughout your journey of trying to figure it out yourself, maybe you feel like you end up like spending too much time on things that don't matter and not enough time on things that do matter. That's why like we all feel that the more we try to do things completely on our own, the less we know about what we are missing. We're not saying like the two of us we're the expert that's going to tell you what you're missing. No, we're the two helpful people in a very friendly community. The community's name is Synthase Composers Academy, and as a whole we are a source of trusted community, and we provide mentorship that in a way sometimes might do more harm. We try not to do that, and the resource to help aspiring composers to grow in their art and craft. And
Yeah.
we are
So this is us. I'm Nate. This is Susie. We both have doctoral degrees in music composition. Susie's from Duke. Mine is from Yale. We're both keyboards, both composers, keyboardists. We're educators. We've had international performances. We've won awards. Also, we don't specialize in film scoring, but I have had a film score on national television. So we are, we are composers who also love teaching, and we are here for you. And that's why we're doing this. So as a composer, you will grow in the Synthase Composers Academy in 4 ways. You're going to meet your people, you're going to sharpen your skills, you're going to explore your artistic voice, and you're going to stay up on developments.
And we have a very friendly community of composers. And for the 2 months of our existence, we see zero negativity directed toward anyone else. So the screenshot you are seeing are those 2, 3, 4. 3 out of 4 people are our current members, and those are screenshots from our Live 5 Day challenge, which was like 2 months ago. It was our launch event. And and if you were to join the academy, you will be part of our inner circle, and you will be interacting with people. Where instead of just like seeing one name basically popping up on your Discord, then just disappear forever, you get to stay growing with the same group of people and just watch each other getting better.
Absolutely. And one of the most exciting things we have in the Academy is a growing library of courses. So every month we add a new course or something else, some other kind of resource. And the courses we have include a range of topics from digital audio workstations to classical composition. So we start people off with Soundtrap, which is a very accessible beginner digital audio workstation. And then actually there's a course coming and probably in the next week, which helps you bridge from Soundtrap into Ableton Live. By the way, you also get a 30% off discount for Ableton Live just for being an Academy member. Writing for Violin is a super, super thorough course that features Kevin Rogers, who is a founder of the Friction Quartet, new music violinist. He shows you every technique that you'll ever need to know for violin, and we talk about all the kind of problems and how to solve them. Chord Candy is a theory course that's very practical for composers because it's about hearing chords and using them in your own music. And there are like 11 Chord Candy courses. So this list is growing, and there are resources that are not even mentioned here that are part of the Academy as well.
And we also host studio classes on every Wednesday at either afternoon or evening. We do think that as composers, we always appreciate feedback from someone else, but sometimes it's really hard to get the second opinion, especially if you're not in a composition program as of now. The studio class will work very similarly to our live stream from the perspective that we will be still giving you a live time feedback on your work or your work in progress, and if you have to miss a week, you can find the replay on our website, but it will be more in depth, and we will actually listen ahead of time and prep it, and you will have like about 20 minutes on each of your music, so it will be like more, and it will be more interactive because we get to hear back from you. It's hosted over Zoom instead of YouTube, and we like get to have a little conversation. Even better, we periodically bring composer in residence. So like back in July, our composer in residence is Princeton composition faculty Dan Truman, and he did a podcast with us, which is also available on the Academy, one of those resources. And they said that it's not a course, but it's on our website. And he also did 2 studio classes with us.
So if all that isn't convincing enough, then here, this might put you over the top. We have discounts. So you can save hundreds of dollars a year if you are already doing some of these things. 10% off private lessons with Susie or I. So we have a private studio. We've helped students to get into top music programs. We also help people who are amateurs, and we love amateurs who are not trying to do this professionally. And that's where the private lessons are. Where we can really dig deep and help your music come to life. So you get 10% off of those with us. You get 10% off of the workshops. So Susie just led a workshop over the summer where people got to write for violin and hear their pieces played by a professional and recorded. So if you're interested in either of those things, it's a no-brainer to join the Academy. And then 30% off, as I mentioned, Ableton Live, which is industry standard digital audio workstation software. So here's a success story from Daniel, who's one of my private students and also a member of the Academy. He says, it's been a wonderful experience. He's not from a musical background, and it's as if he made up for lost time. he found our approach to be nurturing and allowing space for the process of learning, mistakes and all, and that we each have the rare combination of being excellent musicians. Oh, thanks, Daniel, but also gifted at teaching. So thanks to us. Thanks to you, Daniel.
And I just want to say that, Nate, I don't think you're sharing the whole PowerPoint slides, like half of it.
Oh.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna keep talking.
Oh,
that,
sorry about that. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, all better.
Like another Academy member is Red. Now we see the whole slide. Red is one of our founding member, and he's great. He said that Synthase has been a wonderful place for my musical talent to grow, educating me through its videos and other people's input. See, we're a friendly community. It's a great place to show others what you're capable of and receiving positive feedback, no matter your skill level. And it's where my own confidence has been boosted by others, even though I'm new to composing. So after all of that, you might be wondering, how much does it cost? We're actually quite affordable. If you like to pay as you go, our monthly membership is only $30 per month. And if you like to be our annual member, you will be paying even less at $20.80 per month. And of course, you can also cancel any time, so no worries at all. And
And just to be clear, the annual membership you pay $250 per year, but if you divide that by 12, that's the number that you get. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're young, so you can help shape the future by joining and then telling us what you want more of. So this is a pretty exciting opportunity to really have a lot of mentorship and a lot of access to this community.
I always want to ask, who is this woman?
Oh, that's Zendaya from Dune.
Oh, you watched Doom?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's from Oakland, so that's where I live right now.
Cool. Yeah, so if you're interested in the Academy and find out more about Oakland, I don't know why I said that. We have nothing to do with Oakland.
Except that I live there.
Right. The link is in the description. Yeah.
Yeah.
Join us, and hope we'll see you inside. Or
else, I don't know what.
I saw I interrupted you, so like,
Oh
do you
no
want to say something?
Hope we see you inside.
Yeah.
And it's just it's an opportunity to kind of see what you might have been missing. If you're trying to go at this completely on your own, know that you have a community waiting for you, and would be happy to see you.
Yeah, just like how happy she looks like.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
I
we'll
wish
be
we
this
could
happy
say
to see you.
Zendaya. I wish we could say Zendaya was a member, but not quite. Thanks, everyone. Big thanks to the people who submitted their pieces, and I hope that was helpful for everyone, even if you did not have a piece submitted. So have a good evening, or whatever time of day it is for you out there, and take care.